So I did went through that journey of really looking into all my stories and
hmm
make a conscious decision, like from this point onward, how I want it to influence me.
hmm
So whatever can happen to us, and a lot of things is not in our control. And the only thing that's in our control is how we experience it and how we come
Yeah.
out of it.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what you choose to take away from it and how you choose to view it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times the outcome is the same, but how you feel inside is as good or as
Yeah.
bad you make it to be. Welcome to the show, Mind Blend. I'm your host, Karen Chong, and I'll be diving into the minds of incredible people, each an expert in their very own way. Together, we'll uncover insights and share ideas so you can be inspired and empowered to navigate your own unique journey in life. Ready to get curious and discover what's possible? Let's blend. So, I just finished a book called Blue Sisters by Coco Mellos. It's about, without giving too much away, the story revolves around four sisters, and each has their problem of their own. And then there was one scene where the mom said, "Look at you, you're okay, better than okay. You have a great career, a big house. Bonnie is a world champion for Christ's sake. And Lucky, she's been on billboards all over the world. How bad of a job could we have done if you all end up like this?" Little did she know, they're definitely not okay. So today I'm joined by Shuang-Min Chang, someone who has lived that kind of successful life and is now helping others to be successful in a way that truly matters. Hi, Shuang-Min.
Hello, Karen. Thank you for having me here.
Welcome to Mind Blend. Thank you for coming today. So I have alluded to this already in the intro. Shuang-Min has lived a very successful life, not to say that she's not successful now, but can you tell us a little bit about that successful life, your previous successful life?
Yeah. So I was in corporate for about, like around 15 years. So I built my career, my last career, my one and only career in fashion retail. So
Mm,
I used to work for premium brands and I was in merchandising. At the last years of my career, I was in charge of China for 4 departments for a premium French luxury fashion brand.
mm,
And I built my career from ground up. So I went to Italy. I have a degree there. I started as an intern. I used to work for Gucci in the headquarters, and then I worked for Gucci in China, and then transit into my last company. So my lifestyle was I earn much more than average. And so my
Yeah.
lifestyle is like quite international because I travel between China and Europe a lot. I travel a lot also domestically in China since we have stores all over the country. So I get to eat food and fly business on company
Uh-huh.
budget.
Yeah.
And then like whenever I was in Milan or Florence or Paris, there was always shopping involved. And then I have little time for vacations, but every time for vacations, I got to choose, where I want to go, what activity I want to do without worrying too much. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say that there was a pretty good life. And the people I am hanging out with, dealing with are usually people in this kind of society,
Ah,
more or
yeah.
less.
So
Yeah.
is it like how movies portray it? Like fashion show,
Uh,
free flowing
no,
champagne?
so that was actually a very, very small part that's well known for people. But in the end of the day, it's a business.
hmm
In the end, in the day, that business wants to make money. So there are a lot
hmm
of the back end things that people don't see. Like I stay with spreadsheet more than I stay with products. And
mm
I am doing strategies much more than I trying on new outfits.
Okay.
And I was in a ballroom much more than on a fashion show.
Uh-huh. See, that's something that people don't know when they think fashion,
Yeah.
luxury fashion. This is what they think about. So that sounded very good. And we know that's not what you're doing right now anymore. What happened?
I just sense that career came to an end, I still love it. You know, the way I talk about it, I think you can sense like my passion when I was in it.
Yeah.
But I outgrew that structure
Mm-hmm.
because the way the whole industry and many industries structured, I outgrew it. And I also have
Mm-hmm.
my own pursuit in
Mm-hmm.
life other than career. And at some point, I knew that career will give me more fantastic lifestyle for
Yeah.
sure, but
Mm-hmm.
it won't give me the opportunity or time or space to explore what I wanted to explore. And
Mm-hmm.
one of them is quite practical. It was surfing. I
Oh,
want to
okay.
surf, and
Mm-hmm.
surfing is it's the kind of activity you need to do constantly to learn.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
gym, you know, you want to train your muscle, you need to show up in the gym at least regular enough.
Yeah.
Surfing is the same, but surfing cannot be indoor. It has to be in a certain
Mm-hmm.
environment. It's kind of like really picky and tricky.
Mm-hmm.
And working in that corporate life will never gave me that. So
Mm-hmm.
I had that was just one part. There are many parts, like spiritual part, emotional part. That it's all
Mm-hmm.
there. I just outgrew it, and I have other pursuits that I no longer want to put on hold.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what the turning point was? Like, I'm sure there's a moment that you made the decision, right?
At some point, I knew that career wouldn't last for life for me
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
when I got into fashion, I have a goal. So when I almost knew I am very close to that goal, I am someone I need challenge and I always need a vision to go forward. I'm a very forward into the future kind of person. So
Mm-hmm.
when I was very close to that career goal, I asked myself, so what do I want in this profession?
Mm-hmm.
I
Kind of like
look
what's
around, there's
next?
nothing really excites me. Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, of course, like I can say I'm going to aiming for higher title or I'm aiming for CEO, I'm aiming for, like bigger job scope. For me, that's actually the same. I'm sorry to
Mm-hmm.
say that CEOs, but for me, it's essentially the same because I'm doing the same business. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
dealing different scope. And also I consider, yes, I will have much more money, most likely. I will also need my time will be even more demanded by others.
Mm-hmm.
And I started asking myself that is that the kind of trade that I would like to make? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in corporate or in life, we are always making trades. Like we trade our time for something. Even we are doing something that we love, we are still trading our time to do the thing that we love. So we are always trading. So I'm very conscious with what I'm trading with my life, all my
Yeah.
time, my energy. And looking beyond the goal I set when I was 25, there was nothing really get me up anymore. Like there was not a
Mm.
trade I was no longer willing to make.
Yeah, that's really good because a lot of people they're just in it without really thinking about anything, and you could have easily just stayed in the field and like, yes, risen up to be the CEO or like someone really well paid. You could travel on business every single or first class,
Yeah.
but a lot of people don't think about that, and it is trade off. You have a lot of money, but you have no time for traveling, for example.
Yeah. So, but I want to put it out there. It's not that I don't want to travel business anymore. Okay. Like I'm working on my business right now because I want to travel business again because it's,
Hmm.
I'm just like, that allow ourselves to feel the luxury we want to feel. It's something that it's up for everyone to choose.
Hmm.
But how I get that is what I care. I used to be willing to trade in that profession to get that. But
Hmm.
then at some point, I'm not willing to. So now I'm moving for another direction. But that is something that still I want. I don't want to I'm very cautious. I don't want to put the message of if you want to live a spiritual life, you have to compromise your material enjoyment. I don't believe in that, and I don't agree in that. I think that you can have both. I think living this human experience is a spiritual practice, and we get to choose how we want to do this practice.
Hmm.
So that's the part I really want to put it out there because like there are so many like I need to give up or something. No, I'm never a champion for giving up anything.
Yeah. And it's great that you clarified that, because essentially that's what
Yeah.
people think about. I'm either
Yeah.
free as a bird and have no money,
Yeah.
or just
Yeah.
be slave driven at a corporate job. But our
Yeah.
message today is really to pursue things that allow you to enjoy life without losing yourself, without
Yeah.
forgetting to embrace yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure in the very successful career, it was very demanding. And I think it's a lot of people nowadays, they would have also experienced, especially nowadays, there's so many layoffs. So people are very worried about their jobs. So they work extra hard and they get fewer people because people are laid off, teams are downsized. So they're even more
Yeah.
stressed. Burnout is the word that I hear a lot of. And did you have any similar experience when you were in that career?
In that career, like first of all, I am a person really immune to this line of anxiety
Okay.
because I took life as a journey. So
Okay.
I know I am, until the day I die, I am never meant to stay somewhere permanently.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was one, it was actually interesting. It just came to mind. I used to tell my team that I want you all to become so good, you can replace me at any day. And
Mm-hmm.
if that day happened, I know it's time for me to go.
Okay.
That's the way that's my general attitude towards life. So I did experience burnout in my own version, but not from that anxiety of our being replaced. I mean, we live in a time that like hundreds of new jobs that we've never heard of. It's going to be created probably next year,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So thinking the idea that I can do exactly the same thing for this life, basically it's just a lie we tell ourselves. It's
Yeah.
it's the inertia or the fear of change that is telling this lie to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of thinking, instead of spiraling out with that line of thoughts, I think it will be more serving to ourselves, asking, what do I want to experience now, if not this?
Mm-hmm.
Or what do I want to create now, if not this? It's
Mm-hmm.
either,
Mm-hmm.
I always say it's either us direct our evolution or others will direct it for us. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's just it's just the way, because the tide is moving, the time is
Mm-hmm.
moving, the era is
Yeah.
moving, and we are all in it. Nobody can be spared. It's
Mm-hmm.
just how we experience the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So why not enjoy right now? And a lot of us are held back by the past or the future, but present is the only thing you're experiencing, really.
Yeah. A very good friend was telling me this. She told me like, I always act like there's nothing happened before and there's nothing going to happen next. I think about the future.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, and I am heavily impacted by my past. But I think the difference is that whether we are impacted by the past unconsciously or consciously.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
went through the whole process of, like taking out each individual stories that has huge impact on me,
Mm-hmm.
the positive impact and the negative impact. And then I look at them. I ask myself, why am I impacted positive here? What is the story I'm telling myself? And why am I impacted
Mm-hmm.
here negatively? Is this the story? Is this the only story I can tell me? The answer is usually no. So I did went through that journey of really looking into all my stories and
Mm-hmm.
make a conscious decision, like from this point onward, how I want it to influence me.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever we can happen to us, and a lot of things is not in our control. And the only thing that's in our control is how we experience it and how we come
Yeah.
out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what you choose to take away from it and how you choose to view it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times the outcome is the same, but how you feel inside is as good or as bad
Yeah.
you make it to be.
Yeah. And it's not even need to be like, super positive.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm an intuitive and I'm very receptive to all kinds of energy. So sometimes
Mm-hmm.
something will happen to me. I will feel something that was no obvious reason and it was not a good feeling. Sometimes that
Mm-hmm.
happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I would just let it, just feel the feeling. And then I will whisper, I whisper to my soul, however you want to call it, God, the universe, or the conscious one consciousness. Like I would say that I am fully open to experience this. And
Mm-hmm.
usually I will come out of it with a lot of inspiration or encouragement or new understanding of things.
Mm-hmm.
So it really doesn't need to be, a grand lecture or story or takeaway. It's just
Mm-hmm.
the willingness to choose the experience that to decide how we want to experience it and link into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Self-reflecting is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have mentioned there were different parts of your life that you have reflected and then asked yourself, is this how I want to be?
Yeah.
Can you share a few of those moments with us?
I had a depression when for around a year. It got really bad. Like I wanted to kill myself for about a year when I was 23.
Mm-hmm.
So there was the moment that in my life I had to ask like, is this like I'm going forward, I'm going to be like this?
Mm-hmm.
And of course my answer was no. So I'm sitting here today. And then there was a time when I was in Italy, I wanted to find a permanent, Italy has many, many different kind of contracts. So the kind of usually employment contract, clock in, clock out, not by the hour, but like by salary. It's
Mm-hmm.
a specific kind of contract, and I wanted that kind of contract because that gave me stability. But for a lot of reasons, I couldn't get it. So I
Mm.
was caught in this vicious circle of no contract, no money, and or no paper, and no paper, no contract. Like I was caught in this
Yeah.
circle.
Yeah.
At some point, I need to decide whether this is how I wanted to experience life.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like in China, it's the same. Uh, so like I had a very good career, but as I share, at some point, I need to rethink like how when I'm trading in my time and my energy, what do I want? In that career used to be something that I dreamed for to a point that I know then there was no longer the trade I wanted to make.
Mm-hmm.
So and then like I have this habit of reflecting in a chunk like every 5 or 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
something that I picked up because I started journaling when I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a lot of time with myself, asking myself questions or asking like the gods, whatever questions. So I also have this habit of just reflecting on whether we talk about trajectory, but it's not just career. Like if we keep moving on the same pattern, we are in the trajectory, no matter whether we are conscious or unconscious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I had the habit of asking myself that is this a trajectory I want to move forward?
Mm-hmm.
And usually I will get guidance. I will know the answer that's deep in my heart, no matter, like I would like to share with others or not, I would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Self-reflecting and really honestly asking yourself the questions and honestly
Yeah.
answering yourself is key to really finding clarity. Because a lot of the times is
Yeah.
yes, but like, do you want to do this? Is this really want to do? Yes, but. And then you come up with pages and pages of why I cannot do that. But it's more like
Yeah.
external factors. I think a lot of them are.
I think this, well, thank you for bringing it up. It's very interesting that not finding reasons to stop ourselves is actually a training, because we live in a society that actually expect us to conform.
Yeah.
So the society actually gave us abundant reason behind that but.
Yeah.
But whether we want to choose the content before the but, it's very, very personal. And sometimes it's very, very lonely, especially if you don't have a community that everyone is practicing choosing the thing before but instead of after. So building community and then training how our mind work, it's very important. If, for example, if you have, like, I have something wrong to do, of course, like, everyone will tell me, but, like, when I told everyone I'm quitting that job to go surfing, everyone thought I was lying because I was actually got hired for a very, very high up job, and usually it's confidential, so I couldn't say, and then like, and when I said no, I'm going to any other companies, I'm just really moving to the seaside and serve. And they were talking about the but for me. Even I already did the D's. They will say, but how about money? But how about, like, how can you afford another, like, shirt from whatever brand? All those but will come up. Remember, whatever we want, they will always come. We may take a pause, like I took a pause from that career, and then there's a transition that I don't have that level of luxury to splurge when it comes to money. But it doesn't mean that I feel that I gave up. I am building myself back into that in a different way, if that's still what I want. So a lot of people will think that but because they are trading off. So when we fall into the trading off or giving up or sacrificing, there's no way back, because we already believe that we will not see an opportunity or possibility to create the same thing in another way, in a way that we love more.
Yeah.
So I think that the thing is that one question that you can ask yourself, that if you choose the content behind the but, what are you giving up? And in 10 years down the road, how your life will look like. And are you happy to live that life? And if you choose the content before the but, how your life will become, and where will you be 10 years down the road? And is that the life you are more willing or less willing to live? I mean, neither side, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very important.
But in the end of the day, are we happy with ourselves? I think that's important, because I've been in this place of secretly unhappy, secretly unfulfilled, and secretly telling myself that I'm failing myself, no matter how it looks outside. And it was a terrible place to be.
Yeah.
Even I decided to go for the one after the but, like I went through that part in some point in my life as well. Life was great. I had most of the things that people want at the very, very early stage before I really enter fashion. I had those. Like, I got paid like twice more than my peers.
Yeah.
But that thing inside, I mean, you can choose to live with it, but do you want to? I think this is the most important question to answer.
Yeah. So choosing a different path, have you experienced something that surprised you?
Oh, so much.
Oh, let's hear it.
So much. Yeah, like when I went into Italy, of course, like at the end, it didn't go according to my plan. That's a surprise. Even at the moment, it was a really negative surprise. But then that experience of really deciding what I want in my life actually opened me up to my spiritual path, to really connect it with the so-called force of flow or intuition. And going into fashion, and then when I went into fashion, because I love it so much, I thought I would do that job for life. But after like 12 years, I realized I couldn't do it anymore. And it brought me to a whole new understanding about life, because if I've never been an entrepreneur, I was brought up telling Like every adult was telling me, holding on to a job, it's the right thing to do. It's a good
Yeah.
way to go,
Yeah. My culture is the same thing.
Yeah, so I wouldn't experience, like different form of business, different form of life, and I wouldn't nurture myself finally from my burnout like over a decade
Mm-hmm.
because I just didn't have time, like in corporate, I re-regulate myself already quite consciously because I have my own food regime, I have my gym regime, and
Mm-hmm.
I have my own interests. Like I try to balance a lot, but I don't have that chunk of time to nurture myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that everyone needs this. Like this is my life path.
Yes.
Like everyone has a life path, but without making these transitions and life, I wouldn't know. Like I used to be someone saying that, oh, I'm a city girl and would never move to the country. And then I fall in love with surfing. So what can I do?
Uh-huh. So you said that? Like you said
So
before you were a city girl?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I used to say to
Huh.
everyone, like I used to say to everyone,
Mm-hmm.
because I moved to Mumbai and Milan, like Paris
Mm-hmm.
and Shanghai, like I love the city life. I love the convenience, like I call a taxi is there.
Yeah.
I use the app, the grocery is at the doorstep.
Yeah.
I was like, and I need dry cleaning because like I have branded stuff and I need
Expensive
dry
stuff
cleaning all
too.
the time.
Yeah.
So how would I want to move to the countryside? It's just like, and then there was fogs and worms and
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
But then like I fall in love with surfing.
Mm-hmm.
So what can I
Mm-hmm.
do? I used to be someone who need to wear shoes when I was walking on the ground all the
Mm-hmm.
time. Now if I don't need to wear shoes, I wouldn't.
How did you fall in love with surfing?
Um After the second half, probably like in my last 5-6 years of my corporate
Mm-hmm.
career, I took a lot of vacation. Well, not a lot of vacation, some time to have vacation what twice a year, like 20 days, 30 days. I always go to seaside
Mm-hmm.
because being in the big city and in that pace of business, I need to
Yeah.
rewire. I like to be around the
Mm.
water.
Me too.
And then I saw people surfing. Um, at some point, like lying down at the beach started to feel like boring.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, I can just hire someone who take me to give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like it sounds fun. It sounds super cool. In the movies, all the surf boy and surf girls.
Yeah.
There was like this image there. And so I thought, why not to give it a try? And the first time I pop up, I knew I want to spend some part of my life doing
Mm.
it. It was just like the connection and the magic of being
Mm-hmm.
underwater but standing
Mm-hmm.
up. So that's how I fell in love with
Wow.
it.
It's very organic. And I guess that's how like
Yeah,
you that's how discovering something that you really have a connection with, that's how it works. You just know it.
yeah. And the mind will never allow us to do some not never okay the it's harder for the mind to allow us to do something new because the job of the mind is to keep us continue surviving and
Mm-hmm.
safe. But if we follow our heart, we follow our curiosity, we will create more
Mm-hmm.
experience for us. And how do I know? I usually will receive the comments that you seem to know exactly what you like and what you don't like. That because I create experience for myself. And the more different experience I have, it's like science experiment. The more data I have, the more I can understand. And I create over the years, through traveling, through different cultures and a lot of things, through conversation with people, I gave myself a lot of data to understand what lights me up and what brings me down. And with more data, I can at some point the initiation will pivot. I can initiate before the curiosity came to create those experience for myself. So I feel my curiosity before the curiosity was starved and needed to express. So this is kind of the really good benign circle of discovering and creating life for me.
That's a very interesting and it's almost like a buzzword that data-driven people here, like, take note of this. Just feelings are data as well. It doesn't have to be numbers. And I love the way you put it.
I mean, like I work with associate and I used to be in business. I'm still a very logical person. I don't use logic to block myself.
Yeah.
You know, the but it's a
Yeah.
logic. I use my heart to guide my logic what to do.
Yeah, I relate to what you said so much because I think a lot of the major decisions in my life I made with my heart, but use my brain to make it feasible.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't usually make decisions because it's feasible and then do it. It's like the opposite of what I do for day
Yeah.
jobs. Like for that job,
Yeah.
it needs to be feasible. For anyone who don't know, like project management is my background, so it needs to be feasible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like making decisions with their heart it's something that I wish more people will consider. Oftentimes people just jump to the conclusion of like being irresponsible. I'm sure in Asian culture there's a little bit of that too. Like, what is a good life? Good money, stable family, a house somewhere, and that's really it. Like people, just like the intro, like what the mom said, you have a
Yeah.
big house, you're happy, you have a successful career, you're happy. But that's not always the case.
Yeah.
How do we address that? Because I'm sure we're not the only ones who face that surrounding.
I did have that. So a lot of times, even we feel this discomfort or reluctance or even suffering, when we bind ourselves with that expectation or that culture, it's because some part of us is afraid if we go out and then we need to take the full responsibility for ourselves. You know, like, with if let's say if I follow the path with my family, that what they expect me to do, when I was unhappy, I can blame on that.
Yeah.
And I would never need to take responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But when I decided that scrap that, I'm going to go out my way and try whether I can make it work. When I was at the bottom of my life, I knew I was responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And so when if it's someone who it's starting to feel it's more like a suffer
Mm-hmm.
or really deep unhappiness to, like keep up with that expectation or that responsibility, that attachment, but couldn't make the decision to do whatever the hearts want, let's say, put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself honestly, what do I get out of not taking action? Like our mind, like bottom line, our mind will never make a decision that has no benefit to us because its primal function is to keep us alive and survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when we stay in an environment or situation, we kept saying that, oh, I'm so unhappy, I'm so painful, I'm so sad, so on and so forth. But we also find ourselves not being able to take the action towards the other side. That means we are still getting something out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So ask ourselves honestly, what do I get out of that? It's very important. And no matter how nasty the answer sounds or how unflattering that answer sounds, we have to face it
Mm-hmm.
and ask ourselves that, is this true? You know, what I get out of it? It could be safety, it could be a lot of things. Like, can I not create that for myself?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that even like if when you after we make the decision, there are still this pressure. Like my parents, they never understood what I do.
Mm-hmm. My parents don't
So
either.
it used to be, it used to be the ache in my heart. You know, like I wanting them to understand me at some point. Of course, I moved out of that. I unlocked that, but for like all my 20s, it was there.
Mm-hmm.
And it caused a lot of conflicts and pain in our relationship because I chose my path and I was doing well,
Mm-hmm.
but I want the validation from them. I want the nagging to stop because the parents also find something else to nag at us.
Yeah.
You know, like Now that you are professionally successful, how about marriage? Now you have marriage, how about children? And then, like, how about your husband's job? Because they can always find no.
Yeah.
But that is just a reflection. That was just an expression of their insecurity as well. And whether we can see our own insecurity or discomfort in their expression, and to know that there's nothing related. It was not a cause effect. It was something within each one of us as a family and reflecting back to each other. And someone has to break the loop first.
Yeah.
When I quit my job and decided to be a coach and then realized I was intuitive and then I can channel spirit, it freaked me out. Because if I was in a corporate, my parents couldn't understand me, how could I expect them to understand me in this?
Yeah.
And especially, being able to channel the so-called spirits and gods is not exactly something really nice in our culture.
Yeah.
You are someone special, like semi-cursed, semi-blessed. So you will have this kind
Now I
of
remember.
talents, right? Yeah. So like I had a lot of fear telling that. At the same time, I'm also very conscious what kind of relationships I was attempting to create with my parents. If I am not honest, I would never be able to expect them to be honest with me. And if I'm not honest, how could they see me? So at some point, my dad was asking me, so exactly what did you do? I said like, oh, I was like that. And, I kind of hear gods or ghosts, whatever you say. And then I kind of see people's soul or whatever, and I recalibrate their energy. And I'm doing my own spiritual practice. Like that's basically what I say. I didn't expect them to understand because it was just too out there. But somehow, because it was the very first time, I had nothing to show for because I didn't have a title, I didn't have a company, I don't have a paycheck. I had nothing to show for but honesty. And without me doing anything, my parents' attitude towards me changed.
Oh, that's good.
When we can own our own energy and our own truth so powerfully, people around us will change. I knew about it because I see it, like in my corporate environment and so on. And usually family is something like, there was tension, a lot of complication around there. So that was a surprise. I just follow my own guidance with myself, how I want to create a relationship with my parents. So I want to be transparent. I want to be honest. I want to share. I want to share the good and bad with them. So they won't like imagine things on their own. And somehow that changed. But that anxiety of worrying about me was kind of gone. I used to make a lot of money and they would worry about me all the time.
Yeah, that's parents.
Yeah, so back to the original question is that what do we get out of that attachment so we don't take the action? And after we take the action, there was still some frictions. I took those friction as a help to help me to deepen my understanding whether this is what I want. It's like a goal, if in a company we set a yearly target and easily we can say, oh, this is low a target. That means our commitment is really low. It's the same thing as life. It's if we look at it as a business, you have something that you want to act on, you want to go for, you want to create, but like someone, no matter how close, say something and then you revert. Probably you don't want that thing that badly either.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want that thing that badly. I mean, like everything come at us. It's an opportunity to double check how much we want. And it's a good thing because without challenge, we will not find faith. So I look at it like that way.
So some key themes I've been hearing today: reflect, be honest, and be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah, it's really just that. Like, with those, it won't be as scary to move forward. So for this last part, I would like to play a game.
Okay.
So something lighthearted to finish our episode today.
Okay.
What's something the successful you back then would never have imagined you'd be doing now?
Walking barefoot on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like anywhere?
Yeah.
Not just on the beach.
If I could, but I can't. Of course, like on the road, if it get too hot, I cannot. But like in the house, on the ground, if I could, like even drive barefoot,
Ah.
because I don't know how to drive. Driving when I was surfing, so with the shoes, I feel like it's not right.
That's fun. The next one.
Yeah.
One success rule that you now joyfully break.
A rule. Uh, being consistent and disciplined.
Okay. Being consistent and disciplined, you'll happily break them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why. What's your definition of a day well spent?
I get to do exercise, meditation, journal. Usually I have one must do a day, so my must do, and I do it in the flow. And if I can do a bit of painting or playing with my plants, there will be a plus. And then I cook dinner and watch TV with my sister in the evening.
Yeah, that sounds like a day well spent to me too. One more. Two more, actually. If you could go back to when you were 23 in India, would you do anything differently?
No.
That's the best answer. Because if you say, yes, I wish I didn't do that, that's not so great. Regret is not a great thing.
I love my life right now. Even now I look back, there are a lot of things probably I could do better. But life is not linear. So with one tiny bit that's different, I will not be here. And I don't know where I will be.
Yeah.
So since I love right now, I'm not going to change anything.
Yeah. Butterfly effect.
So no, I will not change anything.
I'm glad that was your answer too. Last one. Would you move back to Italy?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like if I am choosing now, it's not necessary. I mean, of course, if there's opportunity open up, I can just, like suitcase move there. I don't need to worry about other things. I would. But if I need to go through all the process and, research and so on, no. There are so many beautiful places I haven't been to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think because there are two camps of people who like traveling. One, they want to go back to places they enjoy. The other one, including myself, I would rather go somewhere new.
The me who wanted to immigrate to Italy, it's not me anymore. I still like the country. I still speak a little bit of the language. I miss the gelato and then, a lot of culture there. But that connection is not there anymore because I am a different person. So probably someday I will become a new person, but that person wants to move to Italy, but at least not now.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us today, Shuang-Min.
Thank you for the space today.
Yeah, I really enjoyed hearing all your experience and just all the lessons that we all can take away from.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Mind Blend. If you enjoyed the conversation, don't forget to follow and share it with anyone who needs to hear it. And let's keep the conversation going. Connect with me on LinkedIn or leave me a comment. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and let's continue to blend our minds and discover what's possible.